Hi, welcome to Clinical Yoga. This class is called the Chris Scott. It's the second in a series of beginners classes. So yesterday we covered some of the basic postures, and this time we're going to slightly move them forward. So yesterday was the Mark Stephen, that's the beginners 1, and this is the beginners 2, the Chris Scott. Okay, so starting as we did yesterday, maybe you're on a block. If you want to sit on a block just to mean that your knees maybe are a little bit lower, that's fine, or 2 blocks. Just make sure that you can get the back lovely and straight. So palms up to the ceiling, let's close the eyes and just breathing into the upper belly. So when you're sitting here, you're going to draw the chin back slightly. And really lengthen in the spine. Okay, let's open the eyes, arms overhead, inhale. So taking them as straight and high as you can, you'll feel the muscles in the upper back working and something switching on in the low belly, and the right hand goes down. We reach long out to the left waist. Again, the chest rises up, try not to fall forwards, and then the other hand down, putting it on the mat. Push back with the hand on the mat to open up the side of the body. So we're not collapsing, we're rising. Okay, and then the left hand on the right knee, right hand behind, grow tall, and let's turn. So feeling something going on in the waist, feeling your shoulder blades pulling back, and to the other side. Inhale, and exhale. Okay. And release. Okay, let's come on to the hands and knees. So getting rid of the block if you had one. So palms are open and wide. We're trying to keep the joint between the fingers and the hand down. It may want to keep popping up, but eventually you'll get the strength to keep it down. We're lifting up in the lower back. That means the bottom tucks under and the chest rises up, the head drops down. We do that with an exhale. And then inhale. Let the back drop down, holding in the lower belly, and then rounding up. Exhale, and then inhale, lower down. And last time, exhale, round. So your spine is undulating. And then we'll push back into child's pose. So again, remembering if your knees won't go all that way, then maybe you keep your hips high and you reach your arms a little bit longer. Stretching in the shoulders and under the arms. If you can get your hips back, that would be great. And popping the head down. So feeling your breath against the thighs. And then let's come forward again onto the hands and knees. Briefly, we straighten the right leg, tuck the toes under, left leg, tuck the toes under. So we're briefly taking a plank, takes a lot of energy, elbows are soft, and then push into downward dog. So maybe you need to bring the feet forward slightly, feel the shoulders broaden, holding in the lower belly, feeling a stretch down the back of the legs. Maybe your knees are bent, that's fine. You're trying to get that upper back nice and flat. And then driving the heels down. It is worth using a mirror when you're learning to do yoga, just so you can understand what's going on and try and make the same shape. And then you'll start to feel it. Okay, let's tiptoe forwards. So maybe your hands had to come back, however you get, but make sure the weight's back onto the heels. Before you take your hands off, hold the elbows, belly onto the thighs. So you can have the knees really quite bent here. And as you drop the head, you'll feel yourself just wobbling slightly. That's completely normal. And then This is the only time we really round up. Don't straighten the legs yet. Keep the back rounding, and only as you come up, we straighten the legs. Okay, let's take our first sun salutation. So inhale. We soften the knees. We're trying to bend at the hip. So try not to bend at the waist. You're trying to stick your hips backwards. Back is flat. Huge stretch down the back of the legs. Fingertips come down and round down. Pull the fingertips back. Lift the chest up and forward. Bend the knees. Then the hands go down. We step back into that plank shape. Take your time. If you need to put the knees down, that's fine. But as you lower, your elbows stay close. So the inside of the arm brushes against the side of the chest. Then we turn the toes, so the top of the foot is down. And then we pull back with the hands as we lift up in the chest. So shoulder blades draw together, and we don't push with the arms. We almost drag the hands back on the mat, and then the head drops down. Push hard into the hands, tuck the toes under, and now we push into our downward dog. So body is straight from hands to sit bones, the knees can bend as much as they need to, and then we drive the heels down, stretching the back of the legs. So nice bend in the knees, and then trying to get those legs a little bit straighter. Okay, so we're going to step forward with the right foot first. So do your best. You come into a plank and you bring it as far as you can. That may only be a few inches, that's fine. In which case you would tiptoe the rest of the way. Maybe your hands have to come back. Then inhale, flatten the back. Exhale, fold. Huge stretch in the back of the legs. Maybe a little bit of stretch in the back, but most of it is in the back of the legs. And then this time we come up, we get flat again. And then the hands stay down and we come up with a flat back, and only when we're up do the arms go up. Okay, so let's take another one. So inhale. The knees bend, and then you can tip at the hip. So the soft knees mean you can put the big stretch in the back of the legs, and then we round down. The fingertips pull back, the chest lifts up and forward, so your back is flat, your lower belly pulls in, shoulders away from the ears, then the hands go down. We step back into plank. Maybe you're strong enough to lower in this position, so the inside of the arms brushes the chest, we come down onto the mat. The feet turn, so the tops of the feet are on the mat, and there's a feeling of those muscles in the upper back lifting the chest, not the chin. Okay, drop the shoulders down, push hard, tuck the toes under, and back we go into downward dog again. So broad shoulders, big breaths. Let's rise up with those heels. So really rise up, push back hard. This is hard work, and then let the heels drop down. Knees bend, you're strengthening your core and your shoulders, stretching the back of the legs. Big breaths. Let's look between the hands, come into a plank shape. We step forward with the left as far as you can. Maybe you can go a little bit further, that's great. Join with the right. Bring the hands back, weight is in the feet. Inhale, so you've got that flat back as if you're about to dive into a pool. The back flattens and the back of the legs takes the stretch. Exhale. Now the whole of the back of the body is stretching, soles of the feet to the forehead. And then again, we come to the flat back first. Come up with a flat back and inhale all the way to the top. Great. Okay, so yesterday we did a warrior one. We're going to do warrior one again. So left foot back, slightly turned out, feet are hip distance apart, you're not on a tight rope. Okay, let's drive the left heel down, raise the arms, inhale. So use the traction of the mat to sort of feel the feet pushing apart. That will fire up this back leg, the bottom will work, you'll feel a big stretch in the calf. And breathe. Let's bring the arms down. We're going to add to our warrior one today and take humble warrior. So fingertips interlace behind you if you can. Then draw the shoulder blades together. Don't lift the hands or your rib cage is going to drop forward. So keep the hands on the lower back and the bottom. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. And we're going to bend at the hip. So you keep the chest lifted. Keep lots of weight in that left foot. In other words, don't come forward onto the right. You're sinking down into the right hip. You're going to feel a huge stretch in the back of the right bum, the back of the right thigh. Your spine lengthens, the belly draws in. Then be careful here. You're going to drop the head. Now, some of you are going to really wobble here when you drop the head because you've taken the neck, which helps with our balance, out of the situation, which means you've got to use your core and your leg strength. So if you can bow your head, that's great, but be careful here that you don't fall over. So you feel the traction of the mat, the feet are pushing against that, the right foot forward, the left foot back, and the body is long and straight. Okay, 2 more breaths. Okay, let's come up. So the right leg really did all of the work there. That's fantastic. Okay, let's do it at the other side. So right foot goes back, out to the side. So putting it closer to the right long edge of the mat, not behind the left foot. Drive the heel down, you're working the right bottom. And then when the arms come up, if yours will only go to here, that's fine. Don't get them the rest of the way by leaning into the lower back. Let's push hard into that right heel and feel the muscles across the upper back working and the right heel driving down. That's going to really strengthen your core. So you should naturally feel the lower belly draw in. Okay, let's take 2 more breaths. Now we'll bring the arms down, take them behind the back, interlace the fingers. Be careful the back doesn't round here. You're going to try and draw the shoulder blades together. Nice long arms, holding in the belly, lift the chest, chin draws in. Okay, so we're trying not to bend at the waist here. You're going to sink deep into this hip. So it's going to pull hugely in this area. So flat back, push the feet apart. You've got the long straight back. The arms are a reminder that the back's long and straight. Keep trying to draw the shoulder blades together so you're not rounding here. Flat back. And then let the head bow. You're going to look back at your right foot if you can. Be careful here. You're probably going to get quite wobbly. Hold in the belly. Push the feet apart on the mat. So using the strength of the legs to hold you. Big breaths. And then very slowly push, keep that left knee bent and come up using the back muscles and the left bottom to bring you up. Fantastic. Release the hands, step forward, and we'll take another sun salutation. Inhale. Soft knees, exhale. Don't worry if you can't get so far, it's going to get better each time. Then let the knees bend so the back can flatten if you need to. Those of you who are a little bit more supple, you can straighten the legs a little bit more, but not at the expense of the back. The back stays flat, so there's a huge pull in the back of the legs. Then the hands go down, step back into that plank again. Even if it's momentary, pop the knees down and then elbows close to the body as you lower down. Okay, and then rising up in the chest, shoulder blades back and down, strong straight legs, and it's the back muscles that lift you. Don't push into the arms. Pull the hands back on the mat. Then drop the head, push hard into the hands. Tuck the toes under and push hard. That's hard work in the legs to push back. Push back in the upper part of the body. So you're getting a lovely stretch here. Opening up the shoulders. That's going to help you get your arms above the head. And big breaths into the belly. So again, maybe your knees are bent here, but you're going to try and use your strength to straighten the legs. Okay, let's step forward with the right foot again. So come into a plank, do your best. Okay, left foot comes forward. Maybe you tiptoe the rest of the way. Half lift again, flatten the back. Exhale, fold all the way. Make sure you're getting the stretch in the back of the body somewhere. Maybe it's the calves, maybe it's the back of the legs, maybe it's the lower back. And then coming to a flat back, push hard into the feet, and up we go. Fantastic. Let's take our warrior two. So just like yesterday, the left foot goes back, the right foot goes forward. So this time we're lining the shoulders up and the hips with the long edge of the mat. So right foot faces that way, left foot across the mat, arms along, and this knee, it wants to wander in. So we're going to open it wide. So we're strengthening the outside of the thigh and stretching the inside. Okay, so drawing back the chin. Let's take 3 breaths. Okay, try and hold here. If you need to relieve this thigh muscle, then just straighten it briefly. We're going to take extended side angle. Bend the knee again, don't worry about the names. Let's turn to face the right thigh slightly. We're bending here at the hip. So again, try not to collapse. Try and go down with a straight back. So if you aim for your forearm to be right on top of the kneecap, if you take it here, you're going to round. So try and go right for the kneecap. Maybe you're a bit rounded, that's okay. We're going to reach that left arm as far as you can. So over your head, sort of over the left ear, reach the arm. You can tuck the tailbone under, and you're trying to make a straight line from your left hand to your left foot. So trying not to get this roundedness, we're trying to get the knee over the heel and reach long and straight. So huge amount of work in that right leg. Let's take 2 more breaths. Okay, push hard. Great, okay, hard work. Let's step forward and we'll take the other side. So take an inhale and exhale. Okay, the right foot goes back. Open the left knee. So you're stretching in the inner thigh, opening the knee, turning the right foot in, and the arms come to horizontal again. So that knee wants to wander in. We're trying to bring it as wide as possible. You'll notice your arch lifts on the inside of the foot. The right leg is trying to be straight, and the left knee is over the left ankle. Okay, if you need to relieve that thigh, do so. Okay, we're going to take extended side angle on this side. So the knee bends and you bend at the hip and put your forearm on that knee. Then maybe the knee goes a little bit more over the heel. The right arm reaches palm down, the tailbone tucks down and the arm reaches away. So you're trying to get that lift. We're trying not to fall forward. We're trying to lift that arm and have it alongside your right ear, and your body is over this left thigh. So push hard into the right leg, reach the right arm, and we've got that lovely long spine. 2 more breaths. Okay, so if you need to, put your hand back. Maybe you need to help a little bit with that hand, and come up, turn the toes in, and let's step to the front of the mat. Okay, one more sun salutation. Inhale. Soft knees. Exhale, fold. So you're stretching the back of the body. Then flatten the back. That strengthens the spinal muscles, stretches the back of the legs, and works the core. Then the hands go down. We step back into plank. If you need to, put the knees down. Lower slowly. If you can't lower from here, then just come down on the elbows, lower your body. Take the hands back so the hand is under the shoulder, the ball of the shoulder, and then use the back muscles to rise up. So you're trying to find some muscles all the way down the spine, not lifting the chin. The neck will always overcompensate. Okay, let's drop the head, drop it, push hard, tuck the toes under, push into your downward dog. So if you're going faster than me, that's great. Just stay in down dog that little bit longer. So pushing the arms. Again, we're trying to get the back of the legs nice and long. Big breaths. So we've got the ability to bend at the hip joint. That strengthens the spine and the core. Let's look between the hands. The left foot's going to come forward as far as you can. Tiptoe the rest of the way. Inhale, flatten the back. Exhale, fold. And that long flat back again. As we then come up. And inhale. Great. Okay, so yesterday we took a crescent lunge with the knee down. So we're going to take it today in standing. So I'll talk you through it. So the right foot is forward and the left foot goes back, but we're going to put the ball of the foot down, not the foot, the whole foot. So not the heel. We're going to lift the heel, straighten the left knee. The right knee is over the right ankle. So if it's coming here, that means you need to take your left foot back further. The left knee needs to be straight. That's going to give you a big stretch here. It may tip you forward slightly. That's okay. That heel's lifted as much as you can. Crescent lunge. Take the arms up. Maybe you can only go to here. That's fine. Don't lean into your lower back. So don't worry if you slightly tipped forward. We're strengthening the whole extensors of the body as we lift up. We don't want to put pressure into the lower back. So rise up. Doesn't matter if you're pitched really quite far forward. As you take the arms back, you'll get more extension in your upper back. We don't need to increase it here. If you can bring the hands together, that would be great. And even harder is to look up at the thumbs. So very strong legs. Breathe. All right, let's bring the hands to prayer. Lean forward, push off that foot and bring the foot forward. Well done. Okay, inhale. Hands to prayer. So we're trying to calm the breath after maybe we got a little bit breathless or we held the breath slightly in a difficult posture. So it doesn't matter if your foot is only this far back, as long as the leg is straight and this knee is over the ankle. If this knee is coming forward, then put the right foot further back. So strong right leg, hands to prayer. So you can see that I'm just bringing my chest forward rather than leaning back and collapsing in that knee. Let's push into that right leg. feel the breastbone lift. And then if you can take your arms up. So this can be a really difficult posture. And obviously, if your balance is good enough, you can look up at your thumbs. Feel the upper back lifting. That will automatically draw the belly in. Breathe. Okay, hands to prayer. Let's just straighten that right leg again, lift the chest, shoulders back, and when you're ready, the right foot pushes you forward. Great, okay. Let's take an inhale. And exhale. So we're not going to take tree today, we're going to take stork. So stork is just lifting the knee up in front of you. So we're going to take the arms up as high as you can get them, and then lift the right knee. So lift as high as you can, but what you don't want to do is lean back to get the knee up. So if it will only come to here, that's fine. I want you to keep lifting up in the chest. If you've got one finger on the wall, that's fine. Don't lean back. It doesn't matter if you can't get the knee very high. You're strengthening the muscles that lift the leg, but you're also strengthening the muscles that you're standing on, the ones that support you when you're walking, the ones in the side of the hip, the ones in the bottom, the postural muscles. So we're strengthening those. So important to do your exercise in standing. Don't lie down, you switch all the muscles off. Okay, so lifting up, lift the chest, breathe. Keep lifting that knee and foot down. Well done. Okay, big inhale. So I'm going to show you the left one from the side so you can see what I mean. So you're going to lift the arms, inhale. Lift the left knee. You'll feel the tummy working as you tilt the pelvis. Your right bottom's going to work hard. And you lift the chest up and forward. Don't lean away, okay? It doesn't matter if your knee's only here. Keep the weight over that right heel. Keep reaching up in the arms. You will get stronger, and if you have to hold on to the wall, that's fine. You just keep trying to lift that knee, and that's going to strengthen the postural muscles of the right side. Your upper back works, lifting the toes even on the left foot. Try and keep your breath going. Nothing special, just breathe. So don't worry about the balance. If you need to hold the wall, that's fine. Okay, foot down. Okay, so big inhale. Okay, and let's go down onto the mat. So we're going to put the knees, come down onto the knees. I just want to take the stretch in the front of the hip. It's very important. So a little bit like we did yesterday. So we'll bring the right foot forward, and that knee is, that shin is sloping away from you. Then you're going to put your hands down and drop deep into the hips. So you get a stretch in the front of the left. This shin is vertical. So don't have this foot back here. You want to have the shin vertical. It's going to stretch on the inside of the right and the front of the left. And the more you can flatten the back, the deeper you'll get the stretch. So the spine is always allowed to be straight, and the muscles in the legs have to allow for that. So they need to lengthen. If this is making you round, then we really do need to stretch them. Okay, let's come back. Put the left one forward. Shin is sloping away. The weight goes forward into the left foot. When you're ready, fingertips down. Drop into the right, flatten the back, drawing the chin, open the left knee. So you can even let this knee go a little bit wider. Huge stretch on the inside of the right thigh and the front inside of the left thigh and the front of the right. Squeeze the right bottom. Feel your back lengthen. Draw in the chin. And again, nice, long, slow breaths. So muscles have a protective mechanism when you first stretch them, so we need to just spend a bit of time here and breathe deeply. And the other great thing is if you can use your bottom muscle against the tight front, then we can open up those hips a little bit more using our reciprocal inhibition. Okay, let's go back. We're going to take our child's pose slightly differently. We're going to put the knees wide apart. So as wide as you can on the mat, the big toes touch. And then as best you can, putting your hips back and dropping the chest down. So you hopefully will get a stretch in the groin. If you can get your hips right back, that's wonderful, and drop your chest down and reach the arms away. So that's the optimum, but just do your best you can. So even if you're here, that's fine. We're just trying to get deeper and deeper. So your back can stay straight and the hips open up. Great. Okay, so long breaths into the belly. Okay, so coming onto all fours, let's swing the legs around so they're down the mat. We're going to take our boat again. So feet are flat, holding onto the knees. Maybe this is where you're practicing and just taking the hands away. Okay, the back wants to round, so it's difficult to try and get the back straight. So again, great to use a mirror here or reflection in the glass. Okay, so drawing back the chin, trying to hold there. Let's take 5 breaths. Well done. Just put the soles of the feet together and let yourself flop forward. Just take a couple of breaths. All right, coming up straight. We're going to take it one more time. This time we're holding behind the knees. So if you can, try and lift the feet off and balance. So this is going to be very, very shaky when you first start, till your body learns the muscles it's trying to recruit. Drawing back the chin, holding the belly strong, shins are parallel with the mat if you can, and then try and let go. So let's just stay where you need to be. If you need to hold on, we'll just take 3 breaths. Okay, feet down. All right, let's roll down to the mat. Again, this may be difficult. Don't worry if you go down with a little bit of a thump, that's fine. You're trying to roll down. Okay, so let's put the arms alongside us. Bring the feet back. We're going to take a bridge. So we're going to, first of all, press the lower back into the mat. So you're using your bottom muscles to tuck the tailbone under. That will open up the front of the thigh. So keep pressing the back down, and then when you're ready, start to lift up. You're going to feel it in the thighs and the bottom, and not too much in the lower back. I want the legs to do the work, and then the chin is going to drop down and stretch the back of the neck. If you need a pillow or a little cushion, please use one, but hopefully you can get this stretch in the back of the neck and lifting in the hips. So we're getting the bottom muscles to work and the neck to switch off, which is something when we're walking around, often the bottom muscles aren't working and we're using the neck too much for our balance. So feeling those bottom muscles getting tired now, and then lower down, 1 vertebra at a time, if you can. Great. And then one more time, let's lift up, push the back down, lift the hips, rise up. The chin drops down, push hard into the feet. Thighs stay parallel. Try not to let them open up. Keep the thighs parallel. Draw the shoulder blades back and down. Let's get as high as we can. Breathe. If you get a bit of cramp in the back of the thigh, that means you need to do this a little bit more often. And then slowly, slowly down. Great. Okay, let's put the soles of the feet together. Knees wide. Arms overhead. Breathe into the belly. So this we call our butterfly. Big breaths into the belly. Let the knees go. You're going to maybe feel a stretch in the groin. Okay, bring the knees up. We'll take our arms into a V shape. Bring the knees over your tummy and take the knees to the right. If you're struggling to get them down, then take the feet further away. Or you can put your feet on your bolster or cushion, but make sure you can get the legs to somehow get to the floor, even if they have to go away a little bit. Huge stretch across this whole line of the body, particularly in the pectoral muscle, which gets short because life is mostly in front of us. So keeping that open, and then you can take good deep breaths. Okay, let's go to the other side. So knees over, keep the right shoulder down. So keeping this front of the shoulder open is so important. We see so many shoulder problems at the clinic, and 99% of them are short in the pectoral muscle, where the shoulders got into a bad position. Big breaths here, calming the body down. Okay, and let's take our corpse pose. So arms come down by the side of you, the palms face up, and then you can be aware how the fingers curl when you relax. If they're straight, you're holding on to them. So let go, let the feet roll out, close the eyes, and let's bring the attention to the legs. Hopefully you've got some warmth and tingling where you've been stretching and working the leg muscles. So feel the weight of the heel heavy. Feel the weight of the lower back heavy. So now let's leave the legs behind, bring the attention to the upper body, the shoulders, the upper back, and then coming down through the arms, just feeling the weight of the arms and the curl in the fingers. So now from the neck down, leave the body behind. Let the jaw drop back. The muscles in the face just give. Being aware of the breath in the belly. Okay, let's bring the attention back to the body. Start to move the hands and feet. When you're ready, let's bend one knee up at a time. Let's put the hands on the belly and take a big breath into the belly. So you try not to let the chest move at all. You're just using what we call the diaphragm, which as it lowers, it pushes the abdominal contents up into your hands. That's the deep calming breath. That will settle your nervous system. It works on the parasympathetic nervous system, lowering your blood pressure, decreasing your heart rate. And let's roll onto the right side. And coming up into sitting. So if you need your block, that's fine. We won't be here very long. So if you can manage to sit nice and tall. Okay, so spine long again. Make sure your weight's right over the sit bones, and let's inhale. So don't lift the head, just lift the arms, feel the back working, and exhale. Fantastic. Great. I'll see you tomorrow.